What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Week 6 NFL predictions taking place after the Thursday night football game here. So we're going to dive into it by talking about Week 5. In Week 5, it was a bad week for both of us to our standards from what we've put up so far this year. A lot of tough games and a lot of games that were decided by one possession. So I can understand
Mhm.
why. I got you there taking Denver and Tennessee. And that's pretty
Yeah.
much all it was decided because those are the only two games we picked different last week. But what one kind of stood out to you the most?
Well, honestly, that Jacksonville win over KCU, that was pretty impressive and a rough interception for Mahomes at the end of that in that fourth quarter. So that game, Washington with Jaden Daniels, that surprised me, upsetting the Chargers on the road. Obviously, New England, all those last three games surprised us all. I don't know how you picked that Denver game. I mean, that was pretty impressive. But other than that, yeah, I think most of the games were pretty much self-explanatory last week.
Yeah, I mean, the one that stood out to me is I think the Ravens just not showing up. I get Cooper Rush played, but
Hmm.
giving up 44 is just so many points to a team that has been really struggling on offense. And it even reflected in our betting as well last week. I went 2-4, and the game I won was picking Denver to win, covering the spread and the under in that game. And all three were pretty much my recipe for success last week. And of course, didn't do a parlay or anything. So, didn't make any money off of it.
Of course. As for mine, yeah, like you said, that Baltimore, Derrick Henry did get in the end zone somehow. I think that was their only touchdown that last week.
Hmm.
Amon-Ra, he didn't get in, unfortunately. Javante has been a lock. Devon A. Chan as well, and my boy O'Marion Hampton couldn't quite get in the end zone. So 3-3 record, 18-12. It's actually, I mean, like you said, we're pretty doing pretty good. We're doing pretty solid. I look forward to keep it going.
Yeah, and this week, I'm going with a lot of spreads here. I'm going Jacksonville to cover, Chargers to cover, New England to cover at New Orleans. I like the Dallas and Carolina over because I think Carolina's offense is starting to figure it out now. And obviously Dallas is going to put up 30 plus on any defense. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Tennessee plus 4.5 against the Raiders. I just think it's a little too many points. I think that's probably a field goal decided game. And then Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown because it seems like, he's the only player healthy for the 49ers.
Yeah, and as for me, in that Seattle Jacksonville game, I'm taking the under 47 and a half, taking the Chargers as well, minus that 4.5. And I'm gonna stay with Javante scoring another touchdown this week. Same pick as you for Tennessee plus 4.5 at Vegas. And then I'm gonna round it out with Jameer Gibbs and Xavier Worthy scoring against each other because they play each other. Uh, so
Yeah, and then the teams on the bye this week are the Texans and the Vikings. Obviously, the Vikings coming back from two international games, and then the Texans a much needed bye. But for me, I think my biggest thing is who do the Vikings start really moving forward? Because I think honestly, the way they've been playing, you want to kind of see Carson Wentz just ride it out at this point until he really plays a bad game, and then that's when you would put JJ in because there's no need to really rush JJ back right now. So that's my kind of concern here for the Vikings, what they're going to do moving forward.
yeah, I think you give Carson Wentz a few games. You let him develop. Uh, let JJ McCarthy develop under Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz is still learning the offense too. So yeah, it's a confusing situation, but it doesn't really matter who quarterbacks for the Vikings right now. Like they're just gonna play good, just solid football. I feel like they're just really well coached. As for the Texans, coming off a great win against the Ravens, like we talked about earlier. So yeah.
Yeah. And then talking about not great is our start to the week. It's going to be the Eagles, Giants, and the Eagles just didn't show up in the second half in this game. Um, Pretty much got waxed. And Jackson Dart had a big game. Obviously, Scadaboo had probably the best game of his early NFL career. And there's cause for concern for Philly because I don't know. I would not be surprised if this offseason maybe even this trade deadline if they trade Smitty or AJ Brown and get compensation for it because it doesn't look like either of them are happy and they're not really trying to feed him the ball either.
Yeah, I mean, Scadaboo scoring three touchdowns, Jackson Dart, they looked really good. And We saw the 3.5. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they saw the 3.5 minute video straight of tush push. So that was pretty annoying to see. But yeah, I mean, I was switching this game off with the baseball game. So
Yeah, and I obviously didn't watch it, so didn't really miss much in this one. But hopefully we can get some good games in the 1 o'clock slate here. We're all the same here: Cowboys, Colts, Chargers, Steelers. And like I said, obviously that Cowboys Panthers game, I'm going the over. I think the Colts could definitely cover against Arizona because Arizona may or may not have Kyler Murray. I know he practiced today, but kind of a lingering injury to monitor. Chargers should
yep.
wax the floor with those Dolphins. And honestly, your Steelers should wax the Browns. But I will give the Browns credit that
Yeah.
the youth movement is finally happening, which feels like at least 10 years. They're finally just fully investing in a year that they're going to be bad and let all the rookies develop, which I really love to see for Cleveland because maybe they'll get back on top here sometime soon.
Yeah, and in the Steelers game, I could definitely see I could see the Steelers defense just tantalizing Dylan Gabriel all game. But I could also see the Steelers could also have a tendency of giving up yards, and this is a great opportunity for Dylan Gabriel to show what he's got. That being said, though, yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. Uh, I saw that Aaron Rodgers was ranked the worst quarterback according to certain PFF stats, so that's interesting. Which I don't think it's true, but
No, I mean that's PFF. They have those weird stats to make sure you're at the bottom. And
yeah.
another 1 o'clock game. You got the Patriots going on the road to Saints. Obviously, I'm going with the Patriots here because I took them to cover. Titans, we're both on the Titans here, even though they are +4.5. I think they can win this one outright with the way the Raiders have been playing lately. Then obviously I'm taking my Packers here at home. It's a big week, I think, for Green Bay. Coming out of a bye week, the defense just gave up 40 the week before, and it's a new look offense with Joe Flacco and the Bengals coming into town. 14.5 points is a lot of points, so I might be staying away from that one. If you're looking to bet this game, maybe take Cincy points wise. But there's no reason the Packers should lose this game. And if they do, I think you might almost want to hit the panic button.
Yeah, it'll cause a lot of concern if the Packers drop this one. But hey, you never know. Joe Flacco, he brings a lot of magic to the new football team. So we'll see. They have a lot of weapons still. So if Flacco plays well, they could make this game interesting for sure. But like you said earlier, the Packers, I mean, they're rushed. They with their defense, with the Micah Parsons edition, it's scary for Flacco. I mean, he's gonna have a rough game.
Yeah, and then we'll go back overseas. It's Broncos, Jets. Jets still hunting for their first win, and maybe they're going to pull a Jaguars trick out of their book and getting your first win overseas like they've done before they really got good and got Trevor Lawrence. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this Broncos offense is clicking. They could be 5-0, just didn't have a few plays go their way late, and they're 3-2, but they've shown that they can compete with the better teams. And I think Justin Fields has a decent day. But I just think too many weapons on offense and enough defensive talent for the Broncos to not win this game.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos as well. The Jets need to get their first win, though. It's time to really hit the panic button. I mean, not a lot was expected anyway, but you got to get your first win here overseas. They're going to be fighting for it. It's going to be I think it's going to be a gritty game. I just trust the Broncos. They have more weapons, and their defense has been playing well. So I'll stay with Denver here.
Yeah, then moving back to the 1 o'clock slate, we got Rams Ravens. And a few weeks ago, I might have taken the Ravens because Lamar's in this game. It's a must win. Well, it's even more of a must win, and you don't have your best player in the game. And the
Mhm.
Rams and what Matthew Stafford's doing through the air, I mean, he might give Puka the receiving record the way that they have been connecting through 5 weeks this year. And I think the
Mhm.
trend continues here because the Ravens secondary just got torched. It's probably going to get torched again. I expect a huge day from Puka. So Rams move to 4-2.
Oh yeah, going with the Rams here. I can't go back with the Ravens. I took their spread last week, and that just blew up right in my face. So yeah, I gotta go with the Rams here.
Then more or less, Liam Cohen and Mike McDaniel, gurus, offense, defensive gurus just going at each other. I think, I kind of like your bet here in an under. I could definitely see this being a 21-20, 23-17 kind of game. I'm going with Jacksonville at home. I think it's kind of tough to pick against the home team, especially after you just beat the Chiefs in your building in prime
Mhm.
time. And but as Ty and I say in college football, they are due for a letdown game here. Maybe because they're coming off of that cloud nine that is kind of their Super Bowl this early in the season. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised here if Seattle, I don't want to say runs it up early, but they definitely take a two possession lead early. But I don't know. It just depends on those first few possessions for the Jaguars if they can really keep that momentum going. And if they do, I think they can win this one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot what you said, I agree with. Seattle, they just start slow, I feel like. So I think this will be a. That's why I picked the under. I mean, it's going to be a physical. It's going to be a physical game. Taking the Jags at home, yes, sir.
Then moving to that 425 slate, it's a great matchup. You got Mac Jones leading the Niners yet again without Juwan Jennings, without George Kittle, without Ricky Pearsall. The list just continues for the Niners injuries, but they keep finding ways to win, and we keep picking against them, and they keep on winning. So more than likely, they're probably going to win this game. But how can you pick against Baker Mayfield and the magic that he has done through 5 weeks this year? Emeka
Yeah.
Egbuka, 5 touchdowns in all five of his career
Dog.
games. So he's going off. They still don't have Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's actually ruled out already. So Egbuka's thrown into the number one role yet again. And I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be one of those high scoring games that yet again Baker's going to have a chance to go win the game with under 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a hard fought game, and it's going to be close. Like the Bucks always play these close games, and Baker always pulls it out that offense. I mean, it's scary how. I mean, there's always a team like this that has all these close games and always wins them. So there's some sort of good mojo in the building. I can't pick against them here, even though the Niners have been impressive with Mac Jones leading the way. They've been impressive, but I mean, I got to stay with the Bucks here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is my NFC Championship preview here, and week 5 going
Definitely,
into week 6, and
definitely possible.
maybe another team that could be rivaling for that NFC Championship spot is the Detroit Lions. I mean, they're going to Kansas City. They beat them there 2 years ago, opening night. So why can't they do it again? Because the Chiefs, backs to the wall, have to win this game. And I just don't like betting against Mahomes in a situation that's the case. They're favored by 2.5 for a reason. Vegas knows something we don't. And
Mhm.
Worthy's a go for this one. But for me, don't be surprised if at the deadline the Chiefs go look for a running back and really get a guy that can go off. Because who knows, maybe if the Ravens keep on losing, Derrick Henry could possibly be finding a new home because he is on a last year of his contract. So
It would be fun. That'd be pretty interesting. Um, but I'm taking the Lions here. I get what you're saying, and I'm with you for the most part. But the Lions have just been balling out, and I got to stick with them. The Chiefs just haven't found that rhythm on offense. So, and I think this Lions defense is better than what people give them credit for. And their offense is obviously just still just so good. So obviously this is going to be a close game. It's going to come down to the final few seconds as well. We got a lot of good games this week. This is a great nightcap, but I'm taking Detroit on the road here to get it done and go to 5-1.
then moving to Monday night, the first game we got for you is Bills at Falcons. And I think if we are going to throw locks at you, my seventh lock, but honestly, I might even change it out as my number one lock of the week. It would be Buffalo on the road, 4.5 at Atlanta. I don't see a way where Atlanta can hang with Buffalo. Buffalo has been really struggling. They finally got their first loss. I think that's probably the best thing for them because they're going to come out more prepared, more pissed off in this game. And unfortunately, the Falcons come out of a bye, getting a pissed off Buffalo team. So I like the Bills here to not only win, but just cover.
Yeah, I mean the only way the Falcons win this game is if they can control the clock and Bijan gets those steady runs to move the chains, and Michael Penix can find his guys. But because the Falcons' defense is pretty good, I think they'll be able to stop them somewhat. Not well, but I think they'll be able to stop them somewhat. So that is the recipe for success, I think, for Atlanta. But I am taking the Bills. I mean, they're just outmatched the Falcons for sure. So and Josh Allen's gonna be pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yep.
hopefully we can almost get a result that we saw last year between these two teams. Obviously, Commanders threw the Hail Mary to win this game against the Bears last year in one of the best
Yeah.
games of the year, best calls of the year as well. And I think the Commanders are going to get a win here, and I don't think it's going to be as dramatic. I hope not, at least. Terry McLaurin looks like he's not playing here in this one for I think it's the fourth straight week. Um, should have put him on IR at this point because you get him for 4 weeks. But the Bears come out of a bye, and I think we are going to see a new look Bears team. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more coming out of the bye because now getting in that system and really reflecting after 4 games is great. But I just think this Commanders team and Dan Quinn are going to be prepared and walk away with a W.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the Commanders, but the after the coming off the bye, this is a big chance for the Bears to gain some momentum. I mean, like if they can if Caleb Williams can keep it going and connect with all these playmakers that they have, I mean, it's gonna be a scary team. So we got to watch out for that. But I don't know. I trust Jaden Daniels more right now, so that's the main reason why I'm taking him.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about our survivor picks. I'm going with those Patriots on the road against the Saints. I don't think this. I'm more the Patriots are not on fire than I'm. The Saints aren't going to win 2 games in a row. I just don't see how the Saints win 2 in a row at
Yeah.
home. So that's why I'm kind of going with the Patriots here because obviously they beat Buffalo. It is a big letdown spot, but I don't know. It's the Saints. I just can't see them starting to get a win streak and getting their way back into this thing.
Yeah. Uh, I'm taking the Chargers. That was my one of my locks, so I'm gonna stick with them in the Survivor. Last week didn't go my way, but you're looking to go for your fourth straight,
Mhm.
which will tie me. So that'll be interesting. So we'll see how that goes for
And
sure.
that's going to be it for week 6. Come back next week to see how we did on our picks, our locks, and of course, our survivor pick as well. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.